On the luxurious streets of Beverly Hills, 22-year-old Tyler Brooks, the $47 million Powerball winner, was cruising in his new Lamborghini, feeling like the king of the world. But that Sunday morning, mocking an elderly, ordinary-looking man outside Whole Foods would turn out to be his biggest mistake. Because this supposedly ordinary man was actually Ozzy Osbourne, the rock legend who had sold over 100 million albums. Tyler Brooks was a young man who had moved from a small neighborhood in Akron, Ohio to Los Angeles, moving with the confidence that his newfound wealth gave him. He had grown up in a modest family where his father was a parking attendant and his mother was a grocery store cashier. But after winning the jackpot, he had spent most of his money on expensive cars, jewelry, and a luxury house in Beverly Hills with a monthly rent of $25,000. "Now the world revolves around me," he would constantly say on his social media accounts. He had 2 million followers and shared his luxurious lifestyle every day. That Sunday morning, while cruising Rodeo Drive in his brand-new bright red Lamborghini Aventador, he spotted an elderly man getting out of an old Volkswagen Golf in front of Whole Foods Market. He parked his car and walked over to the man. "Hey, old man," he said mockingly. "This is Beverly Hills. I think you're lost." The elderly man silently looked him over. In his Birmingham accent, he calmly said, "No, son, I know exactly where I am. Just doing a bit of shopping for Sharon." Tyler laughed and pointed to his Lamborghini. "You see that car? $400,000, worth 100 times your old Golf. I'm 22 years old and already more successful than you." The elderly man studied Tyler. He noticed the young man's Rolex watch, expensive designer clothes, and the gold chains around his neck. "How do you measure success, Tyler?" he asked. Tyler was surprised. "How do you know my name?" Ozzy smiled. "Saw it in the papers. The Powerball winner from Ohio. $47 million, right? Congratulations, by the way." Hearing this information made Tyler even more arrogant. "Yes, that's real success. Money talks, everything else is nonsense. And you, look at yourself. Probably just some old guy trying to get by on his pension." Ozzy calmly said, "I suppose I'm retired, yes? Sharon and I mostly stay at home these days," and smiled. Tyler acted as if he hadn't heard the name and continued, "Look, old man, only successful people can hang around this neighborhood. Maybe there are more suitable places for you. Downtown has cheap cafes, parks." Ozzy said, "Thanks for the suggestion, son, but I've been living in this neighborhood for 25 years. When Sharon and I bought our house here, you weren't even born yet. Back then, this neighborhood wasn't as expensive as it is now, of course." Tyler frowned. 25 years? Impossible. Buying a house in this neighborhood would have required millions of dollars even back then. Ozzy shrugged and said, "Some things aren't what they appear to be, son." At that moment, an elderly couple coming out of one of Beverly Hills' luxury restaurants noticed Ozzy. The man excitedly ran over. "Ozzy Osbourne! What a great honor to see you. I'm Charles. This is my wife, Margaret. I've been a fan since 1975, he said. Tyler's jaw dropped. These people knew this old man. "Ozzy Osbourne. Who's that?" he asked in amazement. Charles and Margaret looked at Tyler in shock. Charles said, "The lead singer of Black Sabbath, the father of heavy metal music, a living legend of rock music." Tyler shrugged. "Never heard of him. Probably makes outdated music. Nobody listens to that stuff anymore." While Ozzy chatted politely with the couple, Tyler still couldn't grasp the situation. If this old man was really famous, why did he look so ordinary? "Okay, maybe you're a bit famous, but I now have $47 million. That's real money, real power," Tyler said. Ozzy pulled out his old leather wallet from his pocket. The wallet was worn, but quality. He pulled out a metal card from it, a black American Express Centurion card. "This card has no limit, Tyler. $47 million. That's an amount I could spend in a month." Tyler's mouth fell open. He knew about the Centurion card. "Impossible. How can someone who looks like you have such a card?" Ozzy smiled. "I've been making music for over 50 years. I've won Grammy Awards, been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I've learned how money is earned and, more importantly, how it should be spent. You, however, are just a lucky ticket holder." Tyler was starting to get angry at these words. Nobody talked to him like this anymore. His friends back in Ohio showed him respect, and the new people he met in LA were kissing up to him. Old music? Who listens to that stuff anymore? I'm a man of today. Young people follow me, Tyler said, pulling out his phone. I have 2 million followers. How many followers do you have? Ozzy calmly said, I'm not active on social media, but according to what my managers tell me, my songs are still played 15 million times a day. Iron Man, Paranoid, Crazy Train. These songs were written before you were born, but they still touch millions of people. Tyler's face changed. These numbers were far above his follower count. But you're from the old generation. You're stuck in the past now, he tried to say. At that moment, a young woman approached, her phone trembling in her hand. Excuse me, but are you really Ozzy Osbourne? She asked. I'm Emma. My mom is a huge fan. Your songs gave her so much strength during her cancer treatment. She went through chemotherapy sessions listening to Mama, I'm Coming Home. I want to thank you on her behalf. Ozzy sincerely asked, How is your mother doing now, if I may ask? Emma's eyes welled up. She recovered, thank God. She's in remission now. Ozzy said, Give her my regards. I wrote that song when Sharon was going through cancer treatment. I believe in the healing power of music. Tyler watched this scene but still couldn't understand it. Money was everything to him. Emotional connections were just weakness. But the love and respect these people showed Ozzy was the kind that couldn't be bought with money. After Emma left, Tyler said, Look, old man, maybe you were somebody in the past, but now I'm here. New generation, new money, new power. I'm the man for the next 50 years. Ozzy said, Tyler, money only gives you options. Character gives you your identity. They're very different things. Tyler angrily replied, Those are empty words. Money talks. Everything else is silent. What good is being poor with character? Ozzy asked with a sad expression. Did $47 million make you happy, Tyler? Tyler hesitated. This question had made him uncomfortable. Actually, money hadn't made him happy. He was constantly anxious, thinking that everyone around him was only with him for his money. His old friends had distanced themselves. His relationships with his family had become strained. He had felt lonely since leaving his life in Ohio and coming to LA. But he wouldn't admit this. Of course I'm happy. I can buy anything I want, he said. But his voice wasn't very convincing. Ozzy noticed the hesitation on Tyler's face. I made mistakes when I was young too, son. When I became famous, I thought I was the center of the world. At one point, Sharon even considered leaving me, he said. Tyler was surprised. You made mistakes too? How could you make mistakes when you had money? Ozzy shook his head. Big mistakes, Tyler. In the 1980s, I was nearly killing myself. If it weren't for Sharon, I wouldn't be here today. Thanks to her, I sobered up, got treatment, pulled myself together. I learned that real strength lies in admitting your mistakes and trying to fix them. Tyler began to soften a bit. So how did you fix it? How did you change? Ozzy said, By listening, learning, empathizing. Money gave me comfort, but peace came from human relationships. Music gave me purpose. Being able to touch people, leaving a positive mark on their lives, that's real satisfaction. At that moment, Ozzy's phone rang. Sharon was calling. Sharon, love, he answered in an affectionate voice. The voice on the phone was loud enough for Tyler to hear. Ozzy, where are you? You have a doctor's appointment in an hour, Sharon said in a voice that was both worried and loving. Ozzy smiled. I'm chatting with a young friend, darling. Don't worry, I'll be there soon. Sharon said, You're making new friends again, aren't you? You'll never change, Ozzy Osbourne. But take care of yourself. I love you. And laughed. Ozzy said, I love you too, girl. I'll be there shortly. And hung up the phone. Tyler observed this warm relationship. There was a bond between them that couldn't be bought with money. A 42-year marriage that had endured through sickness and health, wealth and poverty. Tyler thought about his own family. After winning the money, his relationships with his family had deteriorated. His mother constantly got angry at him for being stingy, while his father said, I didn't raise you like this. Even his brother had started acting distant toward him. After Ozzy hung up the phone, he turned to Tyler. We've been married for 42 years. Sharon loved me even during my worst days, when I was addicted to drugs, when I was going crazy, when I was fighting illness. She was always by my side. Money couldn't buy that love, Tyler. A strange feeling was forming inside Tyler. This man's life had real love, real friendship, real respect. Tyler, Ozzy said, I'm going to make you an offer. Spend a day with me. Let me show you how money can be used meaningfully. If you accept, maybe you'll gain a different perspective. Tyler proudly said, I don't have anything to learn from you. I'm already successful. But his voice wasn't as confident as before. Ozzy said, another time then, and started walking toward his golf. The next day, Tyler sat at home, researching Ozzy Osbourne online. What he learned shocked him. He was one of the founders of Black Sabbath and considered the father of heavy metal music. His net worth was estimated at $220 million, nearly 5 times what Tyler had won. But what impressed him most were his charitable works. He had donated over $50 million to cancer research, regularly visited children's hospitals, and educated young people about drugs. He was one of the biggest supporters of the Colon Cancer Society. Tyler looked at his own life. He had spent his $47 million only on himself. He had never helped anyone. Even when his family asked for money, he had said, let them work and earn it. He looked at his social media accounts, constantly sharing luxury cars, expensive restaurants, designer clothes. He read the comments. Most of his followers were commenting for money. Send me money too. Pure luck. I wish I could win too. There was no real friendship, no real appreciation, just material admiration. 3 days later, Tyler decided to find Ozzy and apologize. He found his house in Beverly Hills. The house was luxurious but unpretentious. Sharon opened the door, about 70 years old, an elegant but warm woman. You must be Tyler. Ozzy mentioned you. Come in, dear, she said with a smiling face. Tyler said shamefully, Mrs. Osbourne, I want to apologize to your husband. I was very rude, very disrespectful. Sharon welcomed him in. We all make mistakes when we're young. What matters is learning. Ozzy is playing with his dogs in the garden. Would you like some tea? Tyler was surprised. There was no resentment in her voice. These people were truly different. When Ozzy saw Tyler while playing with his 3 dogs in the garden, he stood up. Welcome, son. Would you like some tea? Sharon makes wonderful tea, he said. Tyler was amazed. Mr. Osbourne, I apologize. I researched you. You have an incredible career and I'm just a lucky kid, he said. Ozzy said, Tyler, we all make mistakes. What matters is learning and growing. You seemed very angry that day. Now tell me, does that money really make you happy? Tyler shook his head. No, actually I'm even more miserable. Nobody really loves me. They just want my money. My relationship with my family is ruined. My old friends either envy me or want to use me. Ozzy nodded understandingly. Money can bring isolation, Tyler, especially sudden wealth. People start seeing you differently, and you start seeing them differently too. But when used correctly, money can also create connections and build bridges. Tyler asked curiously, How so? Ozzy smiled. If you want to see, come with me tomorrow. Let me show you the real power of money. This time Tyler didn't hesitate. Okay, I'll come. The next day, Ozzy took Tyler to Los Angeles Children's Hospital. Tyler felt uneasy entering the hospital. Seeing sick children made him uncomfortable. But walking alongside Ozzy, he saw the love the children showed him. Uncle Ozzy! They would shout. Ozzy gave each one special time, singing songs and telling stories. 8-year-old leukemia patient Sarah asked, Uncle Ozzy, when is your new song coming out? Ozzy said, Let me sing you a special song, and sang part of Dreamer. Tyler saw love and gratitude that money could never buy. These children didn't love Ozzy for his money. They loved him because he gave them time and hope. Tyler, Ozzy said, these children's families sometimes can't afford treatment costs. I donated $2 million last year, but what's really valuable is time. I could just give the money and leave. But being here, spending time with them, this is real wealth. Tyler saw a child's mother crying. The woman said to Ozzy, "Thank you, Mr. Osbourne. Emily's treatment continues thanks to your donation." Tyler felt something at that moment. He was understanding the real power of money. That night, Tyler thought about many things as he returned home. The next morning, his mother called. "Tyler, your brother couldn't get a scholarship for university. Can you help?" Tyler was about to say, "Let him figure it out himself," as usual, but he stopped. Ozzy's words came to mind. "Of course, Mom. Not just school expenses. Let's get him a nice apartment, too. Also, let me pay off your house mortgage." The surprise and joy in his mother's voice affected Tyler. "Son, are you okay? You're talking very differently." Tyler said, "I'm fine, Mom. I guess I just grew up a little." Tyler began changing his life from that day forward. First, he donated $500,000 to his old high school in Ohio to develop their music program. Then, following Ozzy's advice, he started a project to establish a school in Los Angeles that would provide music education to young people. He had found the money, but what was missing was knowledge and experience. Ozzy guided him. "Money isn't enough, Tyler. You need to put your heart into this work. You need to be able to talk to young people, to understand them." 6 months later, the music school they named Harmony Academy opened. Ozzy was the guest of honor at the opening ceremony. Tyler took the stage and gave a speech. "6 months ago, it never would have crossed my mind that I'd be here with you in this hall. I had won money but didn't know what to do with it. Then I met Ozzy Osbourne. He taught me that money is not the goal, but a tool. Thanks to this school, many young musicians will be able to develop their talents." Ozzy also came on stage and hugged Tyler. Tyler was now a completely different person. On his social media accounts, he shared not his luxurious lifestyle, but his social responsibility projects. His follow account had decreased, but his interactions were more meaningful. Messages from young people saying, "You inspired me," were much more valuable than the "send money" comments he used to receive. His friendship with Ozzy continued. They had dinner together once a week, talking about their projects. A year later, Tyler gave a speech at Ozzy's birthday party. "Mr. Osbourne, you didn't just teach me how to spend money. You taught me the meaning of life. A year ago, I was a young man with $47 million but unhappy. Now I have less money, but I'm much richer. Because my life has meaning, I enjoy what I do. I make real connections with people." Ozzy smiled. "You discovered the power that was already inside you, Tyler. I just showed you the way." Now, when Tyler looked in the mirror every morning, he didn't see millionaire Tyler, but Tyler who could touch other people's lives. And he realized that the old man who got out of that gulf had actually brought him the most valuable gift of his life.